Hi, this is my next weekly recap. I think I found solution, not really solution. I found the core, like not the core. I in one sentence I know what caused the issue with descriptions. It's pretty simple. Spoiler. So just straight to the point. Of course, I had in mind that, of course, I need to think about it. That's because I can't move further. In this 12th chapter, I got stuck because the only dialogues didn't uh, pull the whole chapter. They just they weren't pulling it out. I also a lot of characters, a lot of new characters, and I need to describe them. I need to give the reader an anchor. I need the time for them to breathe because only dialogues after another dialogue, some new revelations, it's just, or some inner monologues, it would be too much. And well, I'm not writing a fantasy documentary, so I need to feel. I want for a reader to feel the world, but of course, then I started questioning my writing and I as a writer, and how am I as a writer? And that's complete other topic. So this week I was finally editing the parenting book before I was setting it to the editor, and there's this garden. And I truly felt the need, the pull to write, to describe this garden in the most magical way as possible. That the reader can physically feel that they stand there, and even after they close the book, they'll feel that they will want to return to it. And I could only achieve it at some point through descriptions. And I needed to solve it. So what I did, of course, I've written descriptions before, and more or less I know what that is. But the issue was that I think there were two things. There were two problems. First thing is that it feels natural, that it doesn't just feel like info dumping, because I feel that descriptions all of the sudden and in huge paragraphs, if they aren't being done in the natural way, that it doesn't feel natural, then it's as much I equal it to the info dumping. And the second thing was to actually write it. What I mean by this second point is that I actually sit and it feels natural, that it feels enchanting, that it's because I'm writing fantasy. And I believe it's not only in fantasy, and not always, and even if I'm writing not so pleasant setting, that the reader can actually sense it, that there is this the reader stands beside the main character, if not in the main character. As I said, I have written descriptions before, and what I realized was the issue was that I wasn't really imagining it. I wasn't really imagining the setting. So for some reason, I didn't, I knew I want to write, logically I knew that at this moment I need description. But at the same time, I wasn't really seeing the setting. Of course, further question could be, then how did I do it before? Because, that was the question I asked. I wasn't really describing something unique. Of course, if you ask me, it was my first draft of my first chapter, I shared it with my family, and the feedback I received was that it reads like some fantasy documentary, like that there is no descriptions and they actually don't know where they even are. That's when I realized that's an issue. That's a issue. So I started describing something like cabin, or also then I described like the sea, the night sky with their planets, their celestial bodies, but nothing really that was some sort of special world building. And even then, I really had to sit and concentrate on it. Had just like I did with this parenting book, and when I realized that I actually can write descriptions, but there it was like maybe one paragraph, like a few lines. It wasn't something big. Okay, but also when I'm a reader, I think I said it before that I don't really like long paragraphs of descriptions. It's the other thing if it's done like not simply. Simply is not when it's done in an understandable kind of. It's not really reasonable, but that it's not confusing and not just descriptions for the sake of descriptions, and when they feel natural to the text. What I'm trying to say is that even smallest descriptions require for me to sit and actually concentrate on the image. So it's not that I was just mindlessly, mindlessly waiting for the image to appear. I mean, I had the image. Even in that 12th chapter, I still had the image, but it was so obscure. Just like that kingdom in my prologue. Like, I more or less know what that is, but not vividly enough that I could describe it. Because there is the other issue then coming as well. I don't like commonly used phrases in descriptions. The same thing goes with describing characters as well. That's also the other issue. The thing was that I really need to feel it. I need to physically feel it. Even that night that I mentioned that I wrote, I really felt I needed to feel the breeze, the sand, the the light, and then gradually it shifted to the character once again. So I can't stay in that descriptions for long. I don't know if that's an issue, but I think it comes like quite gradually. I need to feel it. I just to the deepest level. I don't know how about other writers. I don't think I can know. Plus, no one talks about it. Well, at least I haven't heard about it. And I also, like I said, I want to escape common phrases. And in order for me to do that, I really need to see like everything, like to the smallest details. At some point, it's annoying. But in the other, it's more rewarding. Well, I mean, I can't say more or less because I don't write descriptions at all mostly, but it's rewarding when it works. And I really need, like I said, I need to include all 5, if not 6 senses in order for me to write actually worthy description that will that I will feel at peace, that it will stay, that I'm keeping it. So that's the thing. It's not that, because I mean, it may sound that when I said that I'm waiting for that I was just like, that I wasn't imagining it. I meant that I just wasn't really imagining it enough. Like, with dialogues and everything, I mostly spend my time thinking about it. But I don't spend time thinking about the settings, about the rooms, about the nature, the cabin. Once again, I am just imagining characters, their behavior, the system, the at some point actions, but not the descriptions. I even struggled to describe one of the main characters, like the first interaction. Like, it's complicated for me. Because on the other hand, I feel when descriptions are just like, I don't know how to explain what feels natural and what's not. When natural description, it's explainable. And then there are just descriptions when author knows they need to describe the character, and then goes the description like anatomy of the character. Something I don't really feel like doing. So that's how it works. At first I thought that I'm just not imagining it. That I'm not imagining it like at all, but that's not right as well, because I do, just not to the right level. So I am trying to, but maybe that's not really, but anyway, I am trying to write it down, like, just not the complete description, but just by sentences, like something like the room is round, for example, the smell, like what generally the building is made of, like in the fantasy context. I am trying to set myself there, and hopefully it will pay off. Maybe it will work. Before I wasn't really writing fantasy settings, like even with this kingdom I need to do it as well. Because prologue, I can see prologue lacks description. Like, it has none. Like, description, there's none. Like, maybe I 2 times I described the character. So there's really not that, like, I don't have descriptions at all. But I know why at some point, because I was afraid that it will be too long. So that's what's on descriptions. I have been feeling this character profiles, like especially pirates, since that's a chapter which heavily revolves around them, and I need a reader to have an anchor. And plus, it ended up being more fun than I expected. Like, I'm truly having fun. Like, I still didn't have enough time to dive into every single one of them. There's one character, like, I already know, like, his whole backstory, though he's not the main character. And I think if I do it, I will enrich the story. And it feels so pleasant. Like, it deepens. I like how I feel that my world deepens, and that it's more layered, that it doesn't really revolve only around these 7 main characters, but that the system affects not only them but the people around as well. That's what I've did, and it helps. It honestly helps. I am shocked, honestly. Like I said in my previous weekly recaps, I didn't hope for it to work. I honestly thought I was fooling around, but it did help. So that's a pleasant surprise. Okay, so as I said, I have been editing this parenting book, and I played my music, and I really put myself in this garden. So I went from top to bottom, descriptions, everything just beautiful. I enjoyed it. I loved it so much. And Tuesday I finished. So I spent almost like the majority of the day I've spent sitting here writing. And my mom, she shared with the story, she sent it to the editor, and this week was a huge thing for me, and that's been my week. What's your experience with the descriptions? I honestly enjoy reading them, and so feel free to share and write them. I will always read them. Maybe I won't be always able to answer, but I will definitely enjoy reading them. If you just, I don't know, maybe you're speechless. Maybe my whole process and I am ineffable. then you can just comment a heart or just a like, just like comment a like. So it will help me as a creator and as a person, for me to know that you like or that you resonate with my process, my thoughts. So we have this kind of interaction, and so I know. And also, if you to support this video and me, this channel, also don't forget to like, just like. And of course, if you want to know more, if you if you're just curious to know where and how it goes, then subscribe. Yes, and if you watched this video till the end, thank you very much. So I'll see you next Friday. Next Friday I'll keep you updated on my process. Maybe I'll receive an feedback from an editor to know how this parenting book is, in what kind of state it is. So yes, I'll see you next Friday. That's all, folks.